Good evening, everyone. So I'm really pleased to introduce or announce that Gene Trainor is the winner of this year's Distinguished Service Award. I called Gene to say, Gene, we're giving you this award. And he said, no way. And I said, yeah. I said, we want you to come. And I gave him the dates, and he said, oh, no. He said, that's the 1 week in the entire fall that I can't come to Baltimore. And he said, so give it to someone else. I said, Gene, we can't. I said, you're the guy this year who really deserves this award for so many different reasons. And so I hope you'll bear with me while I take a few minutes to tell you why I think the committee agreed that Gene is the right guy for this. You know, the thing to remember about Gene and what we think is so important about this particular award is that Gene represents what we like to say is the best of UMBC in the way he has represented himself in his profession and in his community, in the way he has demonstrated philanthropy to UMBC and other places, and in the way that he has advocated and championed UMBC wherever he's gone since he's been connected to the place. Gene graduated from UMBC in 1986 with a Bachelor of Arts in Health Science and Policy and a finance certificate. Shortly after graduation, he went to New York and worked in Wall Street in finance and didn't come back to Baltimore until the early part of the 2000s. And when he came to campus on the recommendation of a good friend of the campus, Earl Linehan, who at that time was the chair of Board of Visitors, he hadn't been back to campus in more than 12 years. And when he came back and had lunch with Freeman and walked the campus, he had an experience that we see frequently with people who hadn't been back to campus. He had this sense of, I almost forgot. I almost forgot the impact that the people of this place had in my career. And Gene started talking about the rigor of the work and the exceptional support of the faculty and how much it meant for him to come out of here knowing that he had accomplished something. He had experiences like many of our graduates from the 80s. He commuted here. He worked almost 25, 30 hours a week to be able to be here. But that was part of the formative experience that he had and part of the memory that helped, as he says, prepared him for the success he was going to have. From that moment, you know, Gene was on board. He was all in. He started supporting the campus in a lot of different ways. In 2006, he generously agreed to chair the alumni committee for the Exceptional by Example campaign. He ended up, you know, pulling a committee together, hosting events, providing training for other volunteers, and really, I think one of the most important things is as he traveled the country and traveled the world, he'd connect with alums who either were in graduate school trying to find their way, or people who'd been away from the campus for a long time, and he kind of would tell them and bring them back and help them understand what was special about the place. And the work that he did in that way is really helping to guide some of the regional programming that we're doing for people all across the country. He and his wife made a very generous $50,000 contribution to establish the Trainor Endowment in Economics to support students and faculty in that work. And that was really one of the most important alumni contributions from the last campaign. And they've been generous in so many other ways. That's really only the tip of their philanthropy. They were recently recognized as among 25 voices for spinal muscular atrophy by the Spinal Muscular Atrophy Association. Their giving and their generosity is something that has played a real impact in the greater Baltimore region for a long time. Gene and his family just recently moved to California, where he is the Chief Operating Officer for Foundation Capital in Menlo Park. And so he was really disappointed when he couldn't be here. He did send me a note, and if you'll allow me to read, he says, needless to say, I was shocked and thrilled to hear the news of this award. It's truly an honor for me. I'm so grateful to you, the Alumni Association, and the university leadership. I'm also so proud of the school's accomplishments and pleased to have played a small part in its continued success. I still recall vividly my first meeting with you and Freeman, the lunch, the critique of my transcript, the rooftop tour. I was sold on the vision and proud to be an alum, and please know that while I'm 3,000 miles away, I will continue to wear my Retriever gear with pride and am always willing to help fundraise, recruit, or promote UMBC from San Francisco. I'm sorry I can't be there tonight. Please extend my best wishes to everyone, particularly the other recipients. In all of his work since he's been connected with the campus, Gene has been an articulate and passionate champion for the place. Like other winners of this award, Gustavo is here tonight, I think as much as anything, folks who win this award help us understand every day the important role that alumni play in helping us realize our immediate goals and the long-term vision for UMBC. So please join me in congratulating Gene Trainor, who couldn't be here tonight.